Hello, my fellow Broadway theater buffs. Welcome back to my channel, Timeless New York City, where I celebrate everything New York City. My name is Lena, and today we're taking a deep dive into the glittering world of New York City's Broadway shows. From the dazzling lights of the Roaring Twenties to the modern spectacles of today, we'll explore how this iconic theater district has evolved over the decades. So, grab a snack and settle in with your friends and loved ones as we embark on this mesmerizing journey through time. The 1920s, Broadway's Roaring Twenties. The 1920s heralded a new era for Broadway as theaters sprung to life with a dazzling array of productions that captured the spirit of the times. It was a decade of innovation and creativity, marked by the birth of legendary shows like Showboat and No, No, Nanette. These groundbreaking productions not only entertained audiences, but also pushed the boundaries of what was possible on stage, laying the groundwork for the future of musical theater. Showboat, with its sweeping score and poignant storyline, revolutionized the musical genre, introducing audiences to a new form of storytelling that combined drama, music, and dance in unprecedented ways. Meanwhile, No, No, Nanette brought a touch of whimsy and humor to the Broadway stage, with its infectious tunes and spirited performances, captivating audiences from curtain rise to curtain fall. As the curtain fell on the 1920s, Broadway stood on the brink of a new era of prosperity and creativity. The 1930s, escapism amidst adversity. In the face of adversity, Broadway rose to the occasion, delivering some of the most iconic and enduring musicals of all time. Productions like 42nd Street and Anything Goes transported audiences to glittering worlds of glitz and glamour, where tap-dancing chorus lines and infectious melodies provided a temporary reprieve from the hardships of the day. 42nd Street, with its toe-tapping tunes and dazzling choreography, captured the spirit of optimism and resilience that defined the era. Set against the backdrop of the bustling theater district, the show offered a behind-the-scenes glimpse, where dreams were made and broken with each passing audition. Meanwhile, Anything Goes brought a touch of madcap humor and escapism to the Broadway stage, with its zany plot lines and unforgettable characters providing a much-needed dose of laughter and levity. From the infectious energy of You're the Top to the show-stopping dance numbers, it was a production that captured the imagination of audiences and offered a glimmer of hope during challenging times. As the curtains closed on the 1930s, Broadway had proven its resilience in the face of adversity, emerging stronger and more vibrant than ever. Despite the challenges of the times, the theaters of Broadway continued to shine brightly, providing a source of comfort, joy, and inspiration to audiences in need of a little magic. The 1940s, revolutionizing the stage. The 1940s marked a turning point for Broadway as visionary creators ushered in a new era of storytelling, with productions that challenged convention and defied expectations. At the forefront of this theatrical revolution were iconic shows like Oklahoma and Carousel, which introduced audiences to the concept of the integrated musical. Oklahoma burst onto the scene in 1943, captivating audiences with its innovative blend of music, dance, and drama. From the iconic opening number, "Oh, What a Beautiful Mornin'," to the rousing finale, Oklahoma revolutionized the musical genre, setting a new standard for narrative cohesion and emotional depth. Meanwhile, Carousel continued this trend of innovation with its richly drawn characters and powerful storytelling. Through its masterful integration of song and dance, Carousel explored complex themes of love, redemption, and forgiveness, leaving audiences spellbound with its emotional resonance and theatrical spectacle. These groundbreaking productions paved the way for the modern musical as we know it today, influencing generations of theater artists and setting the stage for countless future classics. With their bold experimentation and visionary storytelling, the shows of the 1940s forever changed the landscape of Broadway, leaving an indelible mark on the history of American theater. As the curtain falls on the 1940s, we're left with a legacy of innovation and creativity that continues to inspire and delight audiences to this day. From the dazzling lights of the Great White Way to the timeless melodies that echo through the decades, Broadway in the 1940s remains a testament to the enduring power of the theatrical arts. Before we transition into the next decade, if you're enjoying this content, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Your likes, comments, and subscriptions mean a lot to me and inspire me to keep creating, so thank you so much for your support. Now let us dive into the next decades. The 1950s, Broadway brilliance. The 1950s were a time of unparalleled creativity and innovation on Broadway, as the theaters of New York City played host to some of the most beloved and enduring musicals of all time. At the forefront of this theatrical renaissance were blockbuster hits like West Side Story and The Sound of Music, which captivated audiences with their unforgettable melodies and groundbreaking choreography. West Side Story, with its electrifying blend of music, dance, and drama, took Broadway by storm in 1957, introducing audiences to a modern retelling of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, set against the backdrop of gang warfare in New York City. With its iconic score by Leonard Bernstein and Stephen Sondheim and groundbreaking choreography by Jerome Robbins, West Side Story remains a timeless classic that continues to captivate audiences around the world. Meanwhile, The Sound of Music enchanted audiences with its heartwarming story and unforgettable songs. From the soaring melodies of Climb Every Mountain to the infectious joy of Do Re Mi, The Sound of Music captured the imagination of theatergoers and solidified its place as one of the most beloved musicals of all time. With their unforgettable melodies, groundbreaking choreography, and star-studded casts, the musicals of the 1950s solidified Broadway's status as the pinnacle of live entertainment. The 1960s, the Broadway Revolution. The 1960s ushered in a new era of artistic freedom and creative expression on Broadway, as shows like Hair and Cabaret challenged the status quo and pushed the boundaries of traditional theater. These groundbreaking productions tackled taboo subjects and incorporated elements of rock music and avant-garde staging, captivating audiences with their boldness and originality. Hair, which premiered in 1967, was a cultural phenomenon that captured the spirit of the times. With its groundbreaking rock score and provocative subject matter, with its message of peace, love, and rebellion, Hair became a rallying cry for a generation, challenging societal norms and sparking conversations about politics, race, and sexuality. Meanwhile, Cabaret, which debuted in 1966, offered a gritty and unflinching portrayal of life in pre-war Berlin. With its seedy nightclubs and looming specter of fascism, with its innovative staging and powerful performances, Cabaret blurred the lines between reality and illusion, inviting audiences to confront uncomfortable truths and grapple with the darkness of the human condition. As the decade unfolded, Broadway witnessed a proliferation of edgier and more experimental productions, as audiences clamored for stories that reflected the changing times. From the groundbreaking choreography of Sweet Charity to the psychedelic whimsy of Hair, the theaters of New York City became laboratories for bold new ideas and daring artistic visions. As the curtain fell on the 1960s, Broadway stood on the brink of a new era of creativity and innovation, forever changed by the seismic shifts of the decade. The 1970s, disco and drama. The 1970s marked a cultural renaissance on Broadway, as iconic shows like A Chorus Line and Grease took the stage by storm, capturing the spirit of the era with their infectious tunes and dynamic dance numbers. These high-energy productions had audiences grooving in their seats as they transported theatergoers to a world of disco balls, bell-bottoms, and boogie nights. A Chorus Line, which premiered in 1975, revolutionized the musical theater landscape with its raw emotion and groundbreaking storytelling. Based on the true stories of Broadway dancers, the show offered a behind-the-scenes glimpse into the world of show business, exploring themes of identity, ambition, and sacrifice with heart-rending honesty and authenticity. Meanwhile, Grease, with its irresistible blend of rock and roll and teenage rebellion, became an instant classic, capturing the nostalgia and energy of 1950s America. From the infectious energy of Summer Nights to the swaggering bravado of Greased Lightnin', the show captured the imaginations of audiences around the world, solidifying its status as a cultural phenomenon. But the 1970s weren't just about disco and dancing. This decade also saw the rise of the concept musical, with groundbreaking works like Company and Follies challenging traditional narrative structures and pushing the boundaries of storytelling on Broadway. These innovative productions invited audiences to ponder the complexities of modern life, as they explored themes of love, loss, and longing with depth and nuance. As the lights dimmed and the final notes faded into the air, the 1970s concluded, leaving behind a legacy of vibrant energy and groundbreaking artistry. The 1980s, a Broadway extravaganza. The 1980s heralded a new era of spectacle and innovation on Broadway, as blockbuster musicals like Les Miserables and The Phantom of the Opera took center stage, captivating audiences with their lavish sets, soaring scores, and cutting-edge special effects. These larger-than-life productions set a new standard for theatrical extravagance, dazzling audiences with their sheer scale and ambition. Les Miserables, which premiered in 1987, swept audiences away with its epic tale of love, redemption, and revolution set against the backdrop of 19th century France. With its sweeping score, stunning set design, and emotional depth, Les Miserables became an instant classic, captivating theatergoers around the world and setting box office records in the process. Meanwhile, The Phantom of the Opera, which debuted in 1986, brought the haunting tale of the masked musical genius to life with breathtaking theatricality and spine-tingling suspense. From the iconic chandelier crash to the haunting melodies of The Music of the Night, The Phantom of the Opera captured the imagination of audiences with its gothic romance and sumptuous production values. But Les Miserables and The Phantom of the Opera were just the tip of the iceberg. This decade saw a proliferation of spectacular productions that pushed the boundaries of what was possible on stage, such as Dreamgirls. Broadway in the 1980s was a feast for the senses, a celebration of creativity and a testament to the enduring power of live theater. The 1990s, Broadway Renaissance. The 1990s ushered in a new era of artistic exploration and boundary pushing on Broadway, as shows like Rent and The Lion King captured the imagination of theatergoers with their bold storytelling and innovative staging. These groundbreaking productions pushed the boundaries of what was possible on stage, challenging conventions and redefining the theatrical landscape. Rent, which premiered in 1996, was a cultural phenomenon that took Broadway by storm with its raw emotion and gritty realism. Set in New York City's East Village, the show offered a poignant and unflinching portrayal of life, love, and loss in the shadow of the AIDS epidemic. With its powerful score, diverse cast, and groundbreaking themes, Rent struck a chord with audiences around the world, earning critical acclaim and a dedicated following. Meanwhile, The Lion King, which debuted in 1997, brought the majestic landscapes of Africa to life, with breathtaking theatricality and innovative puppetry. From the iconic opening number, Circle of Life, to the heartwarming tale of Simba's journey to reclaim his kingdom, The Lion King captured the hearts of audiences of all ages with its stunning visuals and timeless story. But the 1990s were not just about groundbreaking dramas and epic spectacles. This decade also saw the emergence of jukebox musicals, which paid tribute to iconic artists like ABBA. Productions like Mamma Mia brought the music of these legendary artists to life on stage, inviting audiences to sing along and dance in the aisles to their favorite hits. As the curtain fell on the 1990s, Broadway stood on the brink of a new millennium, forever changed by the bold experimentation and creative innovation of the decade. The 2000s, Broadway brilliance. The 2000s were a decade of artistic reinvention and creative innovation on Broadway, as groundbreaking productions captivated audiences with their fresh perspectives and groundbreaking storytelling. Blockbuster hits like Wicked and Hamilton took the theater world by storm, earning critical acclaim and setting box office records in the process. Wicked, which premiered in 2003, offered a fresh perspective on the classic story of The Wizard of Oz, exploring the untold tale of the Witches of Oz with wit, humor, and heart. With its captivating score, dazzling visuals, and empowering message of friendship and acceptance, Wicked became an instant classic, enchanting audiences of all ages with its spellbinding magic. Meanwhile, Hamilton, which debuted in 2015, revolutionized the Broadway landscape with its groundbreaking storytelling and diverse cast. Inspired by the life of founding father Alexander Hamilton, the show blended hip-hop, R&B, and traditional musical theater to tell the story of America's founding in a bold and innovative way. With its electrifying performances, powerful themes, and infectious energy, Hamilton captured the hearts of audiences around the world and became a cultural phenomenon. But Wicked and Hamilton were just the tip of the iceberg. This decade saw a proliferation of groundbreaking productions that pushed the boundaries of what was possible on stage. From the provocative drama of Spring Awakening to the whimsical charm of The Book of Mormon, Broadway in the 2000s was a hotbed of creativity and innovation, where traditional barriers were shattered and new artistic horizons were explored. As the curtain fell on the 2000s, Broadway stood at the forefront of the global theater scene, a beacon of creativity, diversity, and artistic excellence. Broadway today, the ever-evolving present. And here we stand, in the present moment, where Broadway's vibrancy and excitement continue unabated. Take, for instance, productions like Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which embody the spirit of innovation and captivate audiences with their magical storytelling. And Back to the Future, a production that transports audiences through time. With its exhilarating storyline and dynamic performances, from groundbreaking new works to beloved revivals, The Great White Way continues to captivate audiences from around the world, proving that the magic of live theater knows no bounds. Well, my fellow Broadway theater buffs, drop a comment below and let me know which Broadway shows you've experienced or are eagerly anticipating. I've had the pleasure of experiencing just 2 Broadway shows, a chorus line, and laughter on the 23rd floor. Both were absolutely delightful and left me thoroughly entertained. I hope you enjoyed this whirlwind tour of the Great White Way, or as we know it as the Broadway Theater, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for this iconic theater district. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more, don't forget to smash that like button, drop a comment, and hit subscribe. Your support means the world to me. Until next time, keep shining like a Broadway star in the timeless charm of New York City.